Hi everyone, this is Ricky with Burton-Romero Cards, and I'm doing a video today for ScrapbookPal.com. Today we're going to play with some items I used from their store, so let's get started. Today we're going to start out with Scrapbook Pal adhesive foam dots. We're going to be using some Lawn Fawn raspberry cardstock, along with two 80-pound Nina solar cardstock pieces cut at 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. We're going to be using 110-pound Nina Solar cardstock that I have cut here at 4 1/4 by 11 and then folded in half. We're also going to be using Stud Puffin by Lawn Fawn of their newest release. The XOXO backdrop by Lawn Fawn is also from their newest release. We're going to be using the MISTI stamping tool, as you can see here. It's a little dirty, well used. We're also going to be using some Lawn Fawn glue. And then last but not least, we're going to be using various Copic markers that you can also find at ScrapbookPal.com. There are a few other things that we'll be using, some Lawn Fawn mermaid paper as well that shows up in this video. So okay, let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is actually go ahead and get these penguins stamped out onto our paper. So we're just going to take these out and stick these randomly on our paper. Doesn't really matter where we put them because we're going to be cutting them out with the die cutting machine. So we're going to go ahead and use the Lawn Fawn black ink here, which is good for Copic markers. It's jet black ink, good for Copic markers. We're going to go ahead and get this stamped out twice to make sure we get a good impression. And it looks like we're looking good. I went ahead and did 2 impressions just in case, but yeah, so we're going to go ahead and get coloring here. I just put this in full speed. There's no really hard coloring here. It's not any major blending. I just used some grays, some neutral grays to get this coloring done. The feet were just in 1 orange. The fish were in 2 greens. I kind of did like a scaling kind of coloring there. There's honestly no hard coloring here, so don't feel that you have to go crazy because the images are pretty small. So the next thing we're going to do is do the backdrop for this card, and we're going to use this XOXO backdrop. These are always interesting. It always has the glue on the back of there. Ugh, I hate taking that stuff off. We're going to go ahead and run this through the die cutting machine. We're going to go ahead and get all those X's and O's and all of that stuff poked out there. I don't think I go through this whole thing and show you, but you do have some little X's and O's to put out. You could actually use these for confetti for shaker cards if you wanted, which would be really cool if you were doing a bunch of different shaker cards with different colors. Now, I did put these at about a little over 4 inches each. I was supposed to use the rectangle stitch dies, but I didn't because I couldn't get them to line up with the hearts. I did not want to break open any of the hearts when lining them up on this raspberry cardstock. And as you can see here, they lined up pretty good. This panel piece ended up being a little over 4 inches after I got this cut down. And I thought it looked pretty nice here. And then, excuse me, I'm sorry. Then that folded piece, we're going to get that cut at 4 1/4. This is the card base, and we're going to go ahead and get that glued on there. Just use some of that Lawn Fawn glue. We're going to put that on the card base, and then we're going to stack a bunch of stuff on top of it to make sure that this card actually stays in place. And we're going to put the MISTI on there, we're going to put the plates on there, a coffee cup, whatever we can get on there to make it stay flat. Okay, and now what we're going to do is we're going to get a little heart cut out to place on top of this panel. What we're going to do is use an older die set, and it is called Outside In Heart Stitched Stackable, and we're also using some Lawn Fawn mermaid paper. We're going to go ahead and get this cut out through the die cutting machine, and once we get that cut out, we are also going to go ahead and put the sentiments onto this same paper. I'm going to do some heat embossing on this, so we're going to make sure that we get this rubbed down with the embossing powder tool to make sure that, the embossing tool to make sure that none of the powder sticks to the paper. And off the side here, you can see me pouring the embossing powder on there. And I'm going to go ahead and heat emboss this. I normally don't keep this into the video, but you know, every now and then people need to see the magic and the power of embossing, of heat embossing, because I always think it's pretty cool to see every now and then. It's probably one of my most favorite things of crafting, and I like to keep it in so people can see it and get interested in it. So the next thing we're going to do is going to start putting the card together. I'm going to test around and just look and see exactly where I want everything to be on the card. And then I'm going to start placing some 3M foam dots onto the on the bases of the sentiments, or I'm sorry, the scrapbook adhesive foam dots. Here I'm just cutting them into slices because I need them to be smaller than what the sentiment strips are for. So this makes it really simple to do that. Here you're going to see me put everything together. I'm going to put some of that that foam on the back of the penguins. I glued down the heart onto the cardstock, and we're going to have a completed card. Make sure that you head over to scrapbookpal.com and check out all their products that I used for this card making video. I appreciate you watching my video. You can find me on Instagram. Follow me on YouTube by searching for Romero Cards. Thanks again for watching this video. Make sure you follow scrapbookpal.com. Thank you and have a great week. Bye.